Hello, everybody. This is Professor Zayed. I'm making this video about Proposition 24, which was passed in California during the November 6, 2020 election. And this is regarding consumer privacy law. And I'm going to be talking about Proposition 24, why it's important for consumers. And according to the San Francisco Chronicle, California's Proposition 24 would expand the state's landmark consumer privacy law, and it was passed by voters on Tuesday night on November 6, 2020. And what is, again, so this proposition is meant to keep businesses out of your digital information, digital data, and increase your privacy. But there also have some opponents to it as well. Before we talk about opponents, who opposed it and who supported it, this initiative basically prohibits the legislators from weakening the California Consumer Privacy Act, and it creates a state agency to enforce the privacy protection and gives people more control over how businesses actually share their data. So, the initiative prohibits legislators from weakening the California Consumer Privacy Act, and there are some oppositions to it. The California ACLU opposed it, and also the Consumer Federation of California have also come out against it as well. The opponents will say that they oppose this proposition because it allows pay for privacy schemes, and it makes workers wait years to learn what information about them has been collected by employers. So Proposition 24, key source of opposition, again, was not the tech firms, but it was some privacy advocates as well. And this proposition was passed by 56.1% of the votes, and then 43.9% opposed it. So this is basically some of the summary of the proposition. About over 9 million people voted yes for it, and then over 7 million people opposed it. And again, from this ballotpedia, it's known as California Privacy Rights and Enforcement Act of 2020. And that proposition expanded and amended the provisions of the California Consumer Privacy Act that was passed 2 years ago. And it created the California Privacy Protection Agency, and it removed the ability of businesses to fix violations before being penalized for violations. So that initiative was actually in the previous act of 2018. And some of the initiatives here on this ballot require businesses to do the following. One is not share consumers' personal information upon the consumer's request. So a consumer has to make a request not to share their information. And also to provide consumers with an opt-out option for having their sensitive information as defined in the law used or disclosed for advertising or marketing. And also the initiative requires businesses to obtain permission before collecting data from consumers who are younger than 16 years old, and then obtain permission from a parent or a guardian before collecting data from consumers who are younger than 13. And lastly, to correct the consumer's inaccurate personal information upon the consumer's request. So this is kind of similar to European GDPR, Global Data Protection Agency, which is a European new data privacy and security law that includes hundreds of pages, which worth of new requirements for organizations around the world. If you'd like to know more about GDPR, go to gdpr.edu. But I wanted to talk about the Proposition 24 that was passed in November 2020 regarding consumer privacy law. If you'd like to know more about this, this particular proposition, you can look it up online, and San Francisco Chronicle wrote an article about it. There are many videos out there also that discuss this issue. So thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time.